So after some time using the Fanatec setup, I really did miss my D-shaped wheel for my Logitech Pro, especially for a competitive aspect. I just feel like it's better for me cornering using that wheel, and I have various different wheels, different sizes from 14 inches round to formula. This wheel is the best for me personally, so I wanted to get one for the Fanatec. So I was looking on their website, and everything was at least 150 bucks before you hit taxes and the shipping. The shipping is kind of pricey for it being as close as it is to me. Yeah, so I decided to go on Amazon and see what they had. And I came up with two options. The first option was like a cheaper version, but it had suede around it. I like the build quality of it, but my hands turned super black. So I decided to go with a more expensive approach. Well, it would be the same as Fanatec anyway, but I bought an NRG D-shaped leather um, wheel. So we're gonna open this. Okay, so already off the back, it's right to the point. You open it, it's right there. So we're gonna, so right off the back, the leather just feels completely different from anything I've held. Um, I know it definitely feels better than anything I could get from Fanatec because, this is made for a real car, you know. So we have the thumb indents here. Right off the back, the stitching feels firm and tight. So wear shouldn't be a problem, especially on a sim racing rig. I do love having a line. There were options cheaper. I think we at like $118, but it didn't have this line, and I really wanted it, so I paid 40 bucks more. So this being 160, I mean we're still at the same price as it would have cost for a Fanatec wheel, but this quality is just far better. And yeah, got the little horn here. So we're gonna go downstairs. We're gonna hook this up to my rig and see how it feels. This being a little bit more heavier, probably gonna have to turn the force feedback up, maybe even to 100%. Yeah, but we're gonna get down there and get active. So this is the wheel I tried first. It's the cheaper version of what I got on Amazon. You see the red line. I feel like the build quality is pretty good, especially for what I'm using it for. I can't say for real racing. The stitching does not feel as tight at all. You can see a major difference from the stitching on this wheel, from the stitching of the NRG that I bought. I could imagine, maybe not quickly, but over time, strands coming loose. I can imagine that happening, but for $60, it's not a bad option. The only thing is you're gonna always have to wear gloves because, I did a 30-minute race, and by the time I was done, my hands were black. I washed my hands. Um, it didn't come off. I put rubbing alcohol on my hands and it didn't come off. So I went to bed, with a little bit darker set of hands. So yeah, it being the summertime, you might not always want to, wear gloves, So I had to come up out of my pocket, spend a little bit more, and, you know, get the leather, right? So, you know, an option for you guys if, you're looking for a deep shape wheel and you don't mind always wearing gloves. This is a good route to go. The build quality is pretty good for what you're paying. The only concerns I have, like I said, is the stitching could possibly come loose over time. I'm not saying it would happen quickly, but it could happen over time, and your hands are going to be black if you do barehanded. So always wear gloves. So we're going to put this new wheel on this setup and get into some racing. We're gonna test this wheel out, just see how it feels. I don't play much of this game as I should, so forgive me if I'm terrible. I need to really start playing this game more, but everything feels good so far. Doesn't feel too light. I know it says it's almost 3 pounds or a little over 3. I kind of forget, but I was looking at so many. Yeah. So the wheel feels actually really good. Yeah. It feels really, really good. The leather has more grip to it. Yeah, I can feel those bumps on the side really well. This feels really good. Yeah, I need to start playing more of this game in particular, but I mean, haven't even raised the force feedback up, and it already feels like I don't really need to, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't think I need to do anything as far as the settings, but this feels really good. And then I got my V3 pedals, they're vibrating. Yes, sir. All right. So that was just one kind of terrible lap or whatever. But so I think this is a really good option. Um, yeah, if you're trying to put this wheel on a sim rig, I think it's a really good option. It feels really good. It feels premium. It has a lot of grip on it. Hopefully it doesn't wear down too quickly. I can feel everything I need to feel to know what's going on the track. Yeah, I mean, it works for me, you know. It works for me. I have to give this a 10 out of 10 out of anything else that I felt. In my hands, I have multiple steering wheels, like I said earlier, but this is just, it's completely different. It's a completely different feeling. And I think from now on, when I do look for more wheels in the future, I'm gonna stay away from like the Fanatec's or the Moses or whatever it may be. I'm gonna go with a real wheel. It just has a completely different feel to it, uh, and it's a little bit more immersive already. Just one lap, and then I got my V3 pedals vibrating. I can only imagine if I was using my shifter. I mean, I could be really immersed in this thing. Um, but yeah, I say, yeah, this is definitely a good option if you're looking for a D wheel, D-shaped wheel, and instead of like going to Fanatec and spending the 150 there, you might as well get you something like this, the NRG. And another thing, if in the future, I mean, I think the resale value would be better because you can use it for multiple things. Um, you could use it for real racing, or you could use it for sim racing. So you got two markets you can pretty much have if you decide to sell it and then get something else, or whatever it may be. I think this is definitely the better route. But I'm gonna get back to it, and that sums it up for this whole experience slash, I guess you could say, review, but only time will tell with actual reviews on how it holds up. And I mean, it feels quality, but after really breaking this in, I can give a better assessment of if it's worth the 160, but right off the back, definitely. I definitely think so. So that wraps up this video. If you like this experience that we just shared together, leave a like, comment, whatever it may be. But until next time.